Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, it's good when friends are keeping their word, and that is Slovakia towards Ukraine, and that is giving them the 13 MiG-29s that they promised. The problem is, or I think is a problem, I don't know if you remember when the Slovakians promised to give them the MiGs, so they would get the Americans made, not MiGs, but instead, so they can support the cause of financial, industrial complex over there, military industrial complex. They also cried, the Slovaks cried that some of the MiGs were sabotaged by the Russians. Remember? What's going on with that one? How did you send the 13 that you had? Did you send them in bad shape? Was that a lie? What happened? So let's see first in what kind of shape the Slovakians sent the MiGs 29th to Ukraine. Let's see, and more to come, more to come. This is just the beginning. All right, so this article comes from Ukrinform, and this is the title. Slovakia hands over all promised to Ukraine 13 MiG-29 fighters. All right, Slovakia has completed the transfer of all promised to Ukraine 13 MiG-29 fighters. Well, how is this sitting? Obviously with this. This is a video I made, I think, on the 7th of April. And this is the title, Russian saboteurs, Slovak MiG-29s given to Ukraine. So professionally competent, all of a sudden the Russians are so good at it. Watch that video if you want, it's only 9 minutes. And I'm talking about articles stating from the West that some Russian engineers or engine mechanics somehow screwed the MiG's engines and they made it, or something, that they prevent now the MiGs being functional in a battlefield. So now which one is it, my friends? Which one is it? So let's read further this. Slovak Defense Minister Jaroslav Nagy, well, this is more like a Hungarian, but anyway, wrote, and Yaroslav sounds like Polish, but hey, that's just me saying, wrote this on Twitter, Ukrinform's report. And I'm quoting, all 13 Slovak MiG-29 have been safely handed over to Ukrainian Air Force. Proud to be on the right side. Yeah, you're a good person. You're gonna go to heaven. Doing the right thing to help protect lives. We stand with Ukraine, he wrote. Now this person is a, how should I put it? He's a believer. He sleeps well, all right? He is convinced that he is on the right side, doing the right thing, help to protect lives by providing some with deadly weapons to kill other people's lives. Kill other people's lives, you know what I mean? So it's a very strange way of putting the Medal of Honor in your chest, Mr. Yaroslav Nagy, right? So I'm giving you weapons to kill those people, I'm saving lives. Yeah, you saved this guy's life, but those lives don't matter? Well, Nagy, you're an idiot. Or it is not a weasel. That's what you are. But you are in charge of Slovakia's whatever Minister of Defense or whatever you are. Let's see again. Yes, he is the defense minister. Now, if you would make some movie, a propaganda movie, to make Mr. Yaroslav Nagy realize that he's not protecting lives, he's protecting Ukrainian lives, but not protecting lives in general, and show him what this would do to children, old people, houses, kindergartens, and everything else, because you gave these guys deadly weapons, then maybe you would not sleep very well during the nighttime. But I think he would, because that's his kind. He's going to find justifications. Instead of saying, you know what, we don't provide anything and we want this war to end, sit down and talk. But no, he's doing this. Why? Because they say, well, the Russians don't want to talk because they're evil. And I know I'm on the right side doing the right thing. Okay, good, good. As reported, the Slovak government approved the delivery of 13 MiG-29 fighters to Ukraine in March, the first 4 aircraft country delivered last month. All right, thus Slovakia joined Poland in this direction. Actions have consequences. Remember, we as human beings, we like to be appreciated. We like to be, stroked, our ego stroked. You know what I mean? We like to be admired. We like to be good. We don't like to be bad. Whatever bad is decided to be at that point in a society. So we like to belong. We are, most of us, herd creatures. That means we like to belong to a group. And since we are very cowards, we like to belong to the winning or the majority. So it makes us feel, yeah, I'm part of the human race as well. We like to belong to the winner side. If we don't have a personality, if we don't have courage, some of us, most of us, don't like to run against any threat whatsoever. Get along to do along, got along, get along, you know what I mean. So, it's just get along to get along, whatever. I can't remember now the saying, and I'm not going to try it the third time. I missed 2 times. Third time is idiot, so I'm not going to step that way. I'm pretending like, I'm not going to use it anymore because, for me, that's the way it is in life. If someone makes 3 mistakes, that person is either a bad person, that means that person realizes he's going to make the mistake that you tell him, and then he keeps doing it, or he's a tard, all right, because he doesn't get it. It's not, how should I put it, doesn't have the discipline, self-discipline to train himself not to do it the 3rd time. Once you did it the 3rd time, you need two times to be, redirected this way. Hey, the 2nd time, this way. If you need to do it the 3rd time, then whoop, dropped in my, how do you call it, standards or not standards, in my top, whatever, charts, that's what it is. So anyway, let's go back to this. They gave them these garbage airplanes, rusty airplanes, that do not work, we're told, all the time by the Western mass media, and now they say, yeah, we gave them 13 garbage planes. Do you know how this sounds? Idiotic. I mean, when they talk about the Russian military, that's disorganized, full of drunks and convicts, they don't know anything. They're poorly prepared in training, and they have poor weapons. Their weapons are zero, not good. But when we give them, I was about to say F-35s, it's coming, but not 35s. I was Sukhoi anyway, we don't give them, we give them MiG-29s, Soviet-era airplanes, which when the Russians are using as garbage, we just kill them like flies. When we do that, oh my God, we help them save lives. Well, they're garbage. Yaroslav Nagy, a name I can't forget. I'm going to stay the whole day in my head. Yaroslav Nagy. Anyway, so he's happy about it. No, what if I tell you, Nagy, that you actually endanger the lives of the Ukrainian pilots because you give them garbage airplanes that will be shot down by Russian artillery or defense systems, air defense systems. Oh, they're garbage too. So it's going to be garbage regarding garbage. So these planes will not fly, will be like punk, and the other ones will shoot like this. This is what we are to believe. Now you have to be consistent. Are the MiG-29s good or they're not? Let's start with that one. If they're good, then when the Russians use it, say, hey, they're good. When we use it, giving to the Ukrainians, only then they're good. I mean, really, this is kindergarten stuff. Anyway, good job. Get the F-16s from the Americans or maybe more. Get American troops on your territory because we are the forces of good, but you can't have your forces on our territory. No. Because we're allies, we're equal, So anyway, my friends, they will get rid of all these, how do you call it? Some countries, this is what I think, and I will share with you. Some countries that do not really want to get involved in this Ukraine for the boss, They have to, because that's how you are. Once you're part of the crime organization, you're already dirty. So it's hard to break away. They will pick you up, or the police will pick you up. So you're done. You're caught in between. You can't get out. So in this case, Slovakia, or not only Slovakia, there are many other countries in Europe that really don't want to go to do what they're doing to Ukraine. They rather have everything stopped and discussed, instead of pumping weapons and so on. And they don't believe the idea, the Russians want to come and take over Europe. And this is for weasels, keeping people still on their side to agree with their money transfer to those guys, or money transfer. I give you that and I buy that and you pay. Good. I don't want to pay. Well, nobody asks you. You just pay through taxes. And if we increase your taxes, you're going to pay more. And your children will pay more for the loans we get to buy those weapons from those guys, because we give them to these guys. Because we have to. Why? All right. So a lot of countries do not really want to do that, but they do. They do it nevertheless. And that's sad. I think a negotiation, talk, but they don't dare to do that. And they will not oppose the boss, like for instance Hungary, courageous Hungary does. Everybody else marches because there's the politicians know better, and not only. And some countries are caught grabbed by the balls. Some countries don't have balls at all, so you can grab them by anything, by the nose, I guess. That's unfortunate. So give them more weapons and see where that's gonna go. The Russians will decimate eventually, I think, unfortunately, the Ukrainian male population, and then the organizers will look for other fresh blood coming from other nationalities, other countries. That's how I foresee things. All right, and they could be Poles, that could be Romanians. Usually they start with neighbors. That could be people from Kazakhstan, from Georgia, from these kind of things. Armenia right now are doing something over there. They're going to foment all these things, and we're going to have different, and then the Russians, you expect them to say, hey, those are the good guys. When I see that these guys are trying to they surround us with their infrastructure, with the rockets and missiles and all, with their armies around us as a country. We don't do that to them, but they do it to us. And we are supposed to say, yeah, these are our allies, they're friends, we're partners. Yes, they're partners. No, you're not partners. That's not how a partner, for your protection, how about my protection? You don't care about my protection? How are we friends or anything? And your protection is against me. So obviously you consider me being the bad dude. And that's been happening since what, 1918? Yeah, and for good reason until 1991, I would say. But on the other hand, if the Soviets, the communist system, which is garbage, was considered evil, and it was, and still is, and you had Stalin, the Gruzin, the Georgian, with his entourage of Kaganovich, Yogodas, and others, and Russians too. Anyway, and Ukrainians too. You didn't do anything about it. Right after the Second World War, when you had was the General Patton, who died just rolled over with his jeep. Man, can you believe that? He said, well, let's attack him right now. Let's clear this garbage. No, don't attack Soviet Union. They could have, but they didn't. Is this for the same reason why they didn't declare war? I'm talking the Brits and the French to the Soviet Union after September 1st, 1939, after the Nazis invaded good Poland, and then the Soviets invaded from the other side, and the Brits and the French declared war only against the Nazis, the Germans. Why? The other guys did the same thing, and they were communist on top. They were threatening their capitalist system, and those were criminals like with paper. The other guy was not as big as a criminal at that time as the other one was, and still they picked only Germany. Don't tell me, we didn't want to affect that. You had the chance of the Second World War. You were on top of everything. You let them slide again. Moreover, you agreed, you negotiated with them the spheres of influence. You divided the world, and you gave countries to those Soviets. Again, the communists to be for generations, plural. All right, so anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.